Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. Huawei is not only the global leader in 5G technology, but by around 2020, it is expected to surpass Samsung, Apple and other companies, and become the world's largest smartphone manufacturer. However, the United States was dissatisfied with high-tech companies outside the United States and finally decided to attack China. Driven by hardcore technology companies such as Huawei, DJI, and CATL, the rapid development of China's high-tech industry in recent years is obvious to all. Regardless of 5G communications, aerospace, artificial intelligence, and many other key fields, they have reached comparable, or even surpassed Western level. However, the strong rise of the Eastern powers has stung the sensitive nerves of the United States. In order to consolidate its position as the hegemon in science and technology, it has successively taken over more than 1,200 Chinese companies, scientific research institutions, and universities in just 3 or 4 years. Included in the list of entities, and taking advantage of basic technological advantages to frequently revise semiconductor rules, in an attempt to hinder China's development through rogue behavior such as cutting off supply. But what the United States never expected was that it spared no effort to suppress Chinese companies, but the result was exactly the opposite. Although Huawei once fell into an existential crisis, after 3 years of dormancy, it finally succeeded in breaking through the double blockade of operating systems and chips. The emergence of the Mate 60 series caused an uproar in the US technology industry. In the eyes of many people in the industry, although the chip competition between China and the United States is not over, the result is already clear. Even if it continues, the United States will not escape the fate of failure. On the contrary, if the United States can relax restrictions in time and no longer decouple mainland semiconductors, it may reduce the losses of American chip suppliers to a large extent. But facts have proven that imperialism's desire to subjugate itself has never died, and its robbery culture is engraved in its DNA. Just recently, news suddenly came out that the United States will introduce the Patent Invalidation Act. The main content of this bill is that the United States can arbitrarily abolish technology patents applied for by foreign companies in the United States. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that this bill is too unreasonable and unfair, and violates the principles of the international patent system. What is outrageous is that US lawmakers unanimously passed this rogue bill with a vote of 24-0. Although the United States states that this plan does not target any national company, it is obvious to all that it has always been wary of Huawei's patent advantages in the 5G per 6G field. In the fierce competition between China and the United States in science and technology, once the bill is implemented, Chinese companies such as Huawei will inevitably become the first targets to have their patents revoked. This means that the more than 20,000 patents Huawei has applied for and obtained in the United States over the years may be eliminated overnight. Was cleared and allowed to be used by the United States. I have to say that its ambitions are too great. As soon as the news that the United States will introduce the Patent Abolition Act came out, the industry immediately caused a sensation. The tragedy of Toshiba and Alstom is still vivid in our minds. Is it possible that such a scene will happen again? In this regard, many foreign media have said, the United States has made things worse. First of all, this bill violates the principles of fair and just competition in the global market, and will seriously affect the innovation and development of global science and technology. At that time, the United States will inevitably be unanimously condemned by other countries, and US technology will also be labeled as unreliable. The label was boycotted by everyone. Secondly, China today is no longer what it used to be. It will never let the United States manipulate it like France and Japan did in the past. If it insists on implementing the abolition of the Patent Act and clearly grabbing the patents of Huawei and other Chinese companies, then China will never let the United States manipulate it. He won't show any mercy and can completely counterattack with equal force. The United States is currently the only superpower in science and technology in the world. The number of patents held by American companies in the past few decades has far exceeded that of companies in other countries, such as Qualcomm, Microsoft, Intel, AMD, etc., relying solely on patent licensing fees. It can earn. The whole world has gained a lot of wealth. If the fish dies and the network breaks, US technology companies may face far more severe losses than Chinese companies. Of course, nothing has been finalized yet. Regardless of whether the United States will eventually implement the Patent Abolition Act, China must always remain vigilant. With its bullying style, it is almost impossible for the United States to give up its suppression of Chinese companies such as Huawei. Therefore, we can no longer have any illusions. As Ren Zhengfei said, peace is achieved through fighting. Only by focusing on self-research of core technologies and standing on the commanding heights of technology can China avoid being bullied. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any ideas, please feel free to leave your ideas in the comment area. Please press on the follow button to focus on our channel's news.